Hello everyone, 2 weeks after the release of iOS 13 Beta 1, we get iOS 13 Beta 2. We are going to take a look at some of the new features and changes, battery life, performance, bugs, and much more. iOS 13 Beta 2 came with a profile, whereas in the past you had to install it with an IPSW through your Mac. It is a lot easier this time with the developer profile. The update size about 692 megabytes on my iPhone XS coming from Beta 1, but that may vary from which version you're coming from. Now if we head over into the settings, general, about section, click here, you see there are build numbers 17A5508M, and also another change is right over here. If we go into the modem firmware, as you can see, we updated to 1.51.07, which should help with some connectivity issues if you've been having any in Beta 1. Now, there is a lot of features. I won't add all of them in this video. There will be another video with more of them later on this week. So the first thing I noticed is the ringer volume. So if you have the ringer volume changing with your buttons, then the whole interface up here will be changed. Look at it. It's literally changing just like this. Ignore the noise, but like it's doing the ringer up there, whereas in the past it would be on the side, this little sidebar. So that's a new thing right over here. Now, one thing that I love is if you go into your folder, Files app, browse, click the three dots in the corner, you can connect to a server. So you type your server, so if you want to share files with the server or just copy files over there, you can do this now, whereas in the past it will just give you a message that you cannot do that yet. That's super cool for easier workflow. Now, 3D Touch, the very controversial topic. So I discussed that in my previous videos, but many people say that 3D Touch is not completely here anymore, and it might come back or it might not. But since Apple's working on haptic touch, they might as well give up on 3D Touch, but that is really unknown. Now, one thing, if you go into your camera app, go into the portrait mode, and you can select high key light mono. So we can take a picture right now. I'm gonna take a picture of myself. Let's take a picture. I took a picture. It isn't the best picture on the planet, but it works well for this video. So what you can do here is also go to edit. It's gonna load up the photo and you can edit the light, for example, which is really good. So you can go a little lower, a little higher, more light, and you can also change the effects to whatever you wanna have. But for this example, using high key mono. Now, if we go into the music app, there is an option of actually sharing with two different AirPods. So if you have your AirPods, you have a friend that has AirPods, you can just select that from this menu right over here. Very simple. Another thing, if we head over back to the Files app, is that now you can use APFS drives from the Files app, especially on your iPad, which is really good. One thing that I noticed was if you're a person who likes to set ringtones, like custom ringtones, whatever you want to do, well, it wasn't really working that well, and it would always go to the default ringtone of the iPhone. However, now in Beta 2, it is working the way it is supposed to. Also, one thing that I love, if you go into your control panel, you can now 3D touch anywhere in the platter to open up the platter. So in the past, you'd have to click in the center and not on like an icon. Now you can just click wherever you want and it's gonna open it up without any problems. These are some of the features I noticed and found people talking about, but there are more which I will talk about later this week. Now let's go look at some of the bugs. So the music app, for me, when I downloaded Beta 2, would crash when opening it up. Now it's not doing that anymore, but it would crash a couple of times. Also, if you were in your settings app, I noticed that sometimes you would be able to crash some of your settings. So some of the panels in the setting couldn't be opened, for example, and stuff like that, which would actually restart the whole settings app, but it's not in this beta anymore. Now, if your phone would be locked, then sometimes the flashlight and the camera wouldn't be showing up anymore. Also, if you were using a controller to play games on your iPad, the battery would drain very quickly and it would get very hot. Also, in your Messages app, if you'd go into your emojis and Memojis, they don't even show up now, but it would be really laggy over here. So this whole keyboard section is quite laggy, literally not very good. Also in the mail app, if you had any emails, then the thing would be that you could not delete them from the trash folder and so on. Now let's look at battery life. Well, battery life hasn't been very good for me overall. Even this graph shows you last 24 hours, the battery would drain quite a lot, and just usage of about 3.48 hours and it would be almost at 0, which isn't a lot of battery life for a phone like this. So it drains very quickly, but that could be because the apps are not compatible fully yet, or I don't know what's the problem, but it can be a software problem or an application problem. Now, performance for me is very good. It has been great. Now, excluding apps that would crash compatibility-wise, in beta 1, Windy wouldn't load, it would just crash, but now it actually loads up, which is great to see. Well, that is everything for this video. Let me know if you are having any problems or bugs in the comments down below. Also, if you want to see what came out in beta 1, click the card shown in the right corner. But before you do, please leave a like and subscribe. Okay, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!